بسم الله تفضل.
رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الصلاة يوم الصلاة ثم رقي المنبر أشار بيده قبلة المسجد فقال قد أريد الآن قل قد صليت لكم الصلاة الجنة والنار مماثلتان.
You got مماثلتين there. Yes, I got ممثلتين. Actually, I got ممثلتين. What you got? ممثلتين, right? Okay. بسم Okay, كده sorry. سبحان الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. We were still discussing this chapter, remember, was the description of Jannat and Jahannam. So وعن أنس narrating authority was Anas أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى لنا يوما الصلاة. صلى لنا يوما الصلاة. Right. الساكن إذا حرك بالكسرة. So just يوما is what that actually tanween is a nun sakin there. Ne? You got nun sakin and you got the sakin on the lam. So صلى need right. You say صلى لنا يوما الصلاة. Read with us. ثم رقي المنبر. So after he read salah, he ascended the minbar. فأشار بيده قبلة المسجد. Then after from the minbar, he indicated towards the side of the Qibla. He said, see, right? And he said, I've been shown something. I've been shown a vision there. فقال أريد الآن. I've been shown now. أريد أرى يري. أريا أريا أريتما أريت. I've been shown. أريد الآن مذ صليت. Since I read Salah, I've been shown. Since مذ صليت لكم الصلاة. Since I read Salah for you people. الجنة والنار. So I've been shown for you. I've been shown after I read for you a vision after I read Salah of Jannat and Jahannam, right? I've been shown. Then ممثلتين. مثل يمثل ممثل. Then مفعول ممثل ممثل with a fatha on the right, and then tasniya and حالة nasab. You understood? So it's مثل يمثل ممثل. So ممثلان ممثلين, and feminine ممثلتين with Jannat and Jahannam, right? ممثلة. You got exactly how it is. I've been right. So right. So you're saying ممثلتين, that ممثلتين, you can say a sample of it, example of it. في قبل هذا الجدار, in the direction of this wall of the world. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فلم أرك اليوم. I did not see till today. رأى يرى أرى حرف الأد drops off. فلم أرك I not see كاليوم, like today, like what I saw. في الخير والشر, with regards to good and bad. رواه البخاري. So what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, until this point in my time, I never see anything as beautiful as Jannat. I haven't seen anything as splendid, as resplendent as Jannat, and neither did I see anything as horrific, as terrible as Jahannam. Obviously, the link of this hadith and this chapter is quite obvious, that we're speaking about Jannat and Jahannam, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying that I haven't seen anything else. So again, just to recap, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam read Salah with Sahaba Ikram, and after he read Salah, he ascended the member and he said, look here, I've been shown an imagery of Jannat and Jahannam, and I can tell you till today I haven't seen anything as beautiful as Jannat, and neither did I see anything as horrible as Jahannam. So there are many examples of the hadith where Nabi was shown things, right? Even in a wakeful state. Remember there's a famous hadith where Nabi in Salah he went forward, and in Salah he went back, remember? And after he said, I saw the beautiful fruit of Jannat. If I had to grab one grape from Jannat, you could have eaten from this till Qiyamah Day. And when he went back, he said, I saw a flame from Jahannam, right? And so that's the one thing I want to tell you. The other thing I want to tell you is this here. In today's day and age, it's not difficult to understand this because I mean, with TV screens, you can be shown images, you can be shown visions, and maybe all the same explanation exists. Like yeah, which we discussed um, when we said a person will be shown Nabi Salsam in the grave. Remember, we said there was two, three explanations. Each one remember. One explanation is all the hijabat that like when you're in the grave and you show Nabi Salsam. I'll just give it in detail because you were not there at that time. Like all the paradise, like you are here, right? You are here, and Nabi Sallallahu is there. So all the obstacles in between will be removed. So you'll be shown Nabi Sallallahu actually resting in his qabr. It's not an image of that's one explanation. And then you will be shown also one is you'll be shown an image of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There was another one, two explanations, but all of it apply to this. The interesting thing, I don't know if people know when we were in Madrasa, Hazrat Mufti Mahmud Saab passed away. He was a very, very great wali. Most of the ulama in South Africa was bi'at to him. Mar Abdul Hamid, Mar Shareef Saluji, and Mufti Ibrahim Salaji. He passed away in South Africa. He was on a visit to South Africa and he passed away, right? And he is buried in Germiston, there in Joburg side. So he had one murid who was, yeah, yes, what you say, used to have kashful kubur. Allah Ta'ala used to open up things to him from the unseen. Like how Allah Ta'ala also opened. So once he seen Azam Mufti Mahmoud, he said that you buried so far away from home, you here in South Africa. How does it feel? So he said, you know, in Barzakh is different. You see like an ocean, all the oceans are, whether in South Africa, whether in India, all the oceans are linked. So the Barzakh is the same, it's all linked. It's not like different. So okay, that's just an interesting anecdote there. Anyway, so I was telling you, so it could be Nabi was shown a vision. It could be that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam or image is conjured up. There was another one, two explanations there. So it was in the front wall of the masjid that Nabi was shown this vision. Yeah, they say if somebody asks that, we know Jannat and Jahannam is so huge. We discussed this in detail. It's so huge. Remember, we told you that if something is dropped from the top of Jahannam, it will only reach the bottom of Jahannam after 40 years of free fall. After 40 years of free fall. How is it that you could be shown all of this? But with images, with television, with screens, nowadays, a huge thing can be shown in a small space. It's not difficult to understand that, right? So the last part, obviously, Nabi Sallallahu is saying, فَلَمْ أَرَكَ الْيَوْمِ فِي الْخَيْرِ وَالشَّرِّ. What I saw from Jannat and Jahannam, it is not comparable to anything that I saw in this dunya ever. It is not comparable to anything that I saw in this dunya ever. Right. So that brings us to the end of the chapter, Alhamdulillah, with regards to the description of Jannat and Jahannam. And obviously, the reason why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spoke about this is that when we read about Jannat, we hear about the beauty of Jannat, when we hear about the resplendentness of Jannat, etc., we must aspire for it, right? And obviously, when we read about the horrors of Jahannam, we must make an effort to save ourselves from it. As the Nabi said, "Ittaqun nara walau bishiqqi tamratin." Save yourself from the fire, even if it is with a piece of a date. Right? In other words, make every effort, make every effort in your ability, even if like how like I gave this example, like sometimes you're traveling overseas. You're going for Umrah. It's a long journey. You like your stuff. You like your smokes. You take your cigarettes with, take your biltong with, all that stuff. How you stuff your bag up. You push till the last because the stuff you want, you won't get it there. You fill your bag up. So same thing. You're going on a long journey, going to Qiyamah. You're going to Barzakh. From Barzakh, you're going to Qiyamah. You got Mizan. You got Sirat. You got what's mizan, you got hisab, kitab. So you must take enough provisions, stuff in as much as you can for this long journey, right? So that is the whole idea, that make preparations for this and do as much as you can. The next chapter we come is very, very interesting. I will read the ending fast there. In fact, interesting here is the the um, the interesting is, inshallah, when you do Bukhari Sharif, inshallah, you'll do Bukhari Sharif, you'll be here, you run away, you're gonna run to open a shop, or what you're gonna do. You'll be here still, you won't run away, inshallah. Ismail, you become a cab driver, you're gonna run away, or what? You're gonna be here. The interesting thing what I'll tell you is the first chapter in Bukhari Sharif is Babu Badil Khalqi. The first chapter is, so this chapter that you're doing here now, this will be the first chapter in Bukhari Sharif when we do it, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala show us that day, inshallah. Nothing must happen in between. لا يحول بيننا وبينك شيء قبل هذا إن شاء الله. Say Ameen. So that's the interesting is the first chapter is Babu Bad'il Khalqi in Bukhari Sharif. Okay, read that. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Babu Bad'il Khalqi wa Zikri al-Anbiya'i. Chapter with regards to the beginning of creation wa Zikri al-Anbiya'i, and mention of the Anbiya alayhi salatu wa taslim. قال تعالى وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي, and we've made from water every living thing. The interesting thing about this here is, look at Allah Ta'ala spoke 1400 years ago. Nabi Sa mentioned it, that we created from water every living thing. That's a literal part. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. So we created from water every living thing. So what does this show you? That, when I was so small, I remember in school, there was an article in the paper that they were very, very excited. They discovered water on Mars. Some type of water, maybe a water form. Why were they excited to discover water on Mars? Why were they excited to discover water on Mars? Because life is not sustainable without water. Life is not sustainable. Nobody can live, nobody can survive without water. If there's no water, there's no life. So if there's water, that means there's life. So water is life. Water is life. Some people say no. Wife is life. Without wife, there's no life. Some say what wife life is terrible. Depends, right? So we say water is life. And this, which the scientist has discovered now, Allah Ta'ala spoke so many years about. So this is just a miracle. This is definitely, without a doubt, this is a miracle of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that 1400 years ago he said that we've created every living thing from water. Right. And so there's an interesting explanation here, which also comes from a hadith. Remember this, we discussed this hadith more or less, but it's relevant, so it's brought again here about the creation of the first thing that was created. If you look at Babu Sifatu Ahlil Jannah, under the 18th hadith, there was a bit of the explanation of this also. There's a hadith that كان الله وليس معه شيء. Right? كان الله, somebody went, كان الله ولم يكن معه شيء. Allah Ta'ala existed and there was nothing with him, right? That's, then Allah Ta'ala created. This is actually all from a riwayat in Ibn Majah. Remember we done it last time, Luqman? Allah Ta'ala created a small green pearl, right? And Allah Ta'ala looked at it with, so to say, anger. God say look of anger on it. And the sea started heating up, so to say. And when this heated up, then water came into existence. That's what Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran. So you look at this, all this, what we're saying here, there is proof for it. There's verses from it. وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ, and his arsh was on the water. Remember, we also mentioned last time that here when you say Allah Ta'ala's arsh was on the water, doesn't mean that water here. This water is part of the dunya. We're not speaking about the dunya. We're not speaking about the earth. We're speaking about the bigger the universe, right? وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ. That doesn't refer to the water of the oceans of this dunya. Then Allah Ta'ala looked at this water also with awe. And this water started boiling. Now, when those of you who cook also, when you cook the food, and I tell you the bottom, in English you call it the dregs. where the masala is. Always tastes lekker, that thing, it's got a masala in it, right? In Uru, you call it tel chat. What you call it? The tel chat. When you boil something, then that what sticks at the bottom of the pot. In Arab, yeah. In Arabic, you call also ka'run. Remember, it's the bottom of something. So that dregs at the bottom, right? So after the water boil, it was still chat at the bottom, the dregs. So from this, the smoke that came from this, Allah Ta'ala created the heavens. And this is proven from the Quran. What is this verse now? We done this verse, yeah. ثم استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان. See, as I says, Allah Ta'ala turned his attention. We won't say he went to, because remember, to go to me is a to go from one place to another place is the quality of a created thing. So Allah Ta'ala never went to something, right? They also ثم استوى al arsh, famous discussion, we done that a lot of time before. وهي دخان, that shows you the sky to smoke first. And I guarantee you, you'll see, I'm not sure what the current status quo, but as science progress, they will come up and tell you afterwards that now we've proven and shown that, the heavens, etc., the space, whatever was created from smoke, right? Then Allah says, وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا, and the earth after we made it smooth. So this shows you that Allah Ta'ala first created the earth and then he made it smooth. He said, well, then the earth, بعد ذلك, after that, we made it smooth. ثم استوى ثم استوى السماء دخانا والأرض. So it shows you that the earth was already created, but after that he made it smooth. You understand what I'm saying? You following what he's saying there? So yeah, it's an interesting point. They say that, look here, Allah Ta'ala created the earth first. Allah Ta'ala then he created the skies from the smoke. Then he leveled out the earth because of this here. وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ. So this بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ here refers to what? It refers to the skies after he created. So he created the earth, then he created the skies, then he leveled out the earth, right? And also was it another verse in Surah Naba? Yeah. وَجَعَلْنَا الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً. We made the earth a firash for you, right? Yeah. So he's saying, yeah, obviously, and he said also interesting, yeah, he's saying logically also, he's saying, hey, look here, you build a house, you build the roof first, and then you build the walls and the foundation. What you do first? First you build the foundation. She got building experience, mashallah. First you build the foundation, then you build the walls, and then you build the roof. Then maybe after you build the roof, you come and you throw the floors, you cast the floors, you make your floors stable. Two ways you can do. Normally when the guys build a foundation, they cast the slab finish, and then they build a roof. Or sometimes they cast the foundation, they build the walls, and then when they finish, they come in, then they cast the floors. So, see, they're saying, yeah, what they're saying. It makes sense that Allah, the slide of the Quranic ayat, and also is logically that first you build the foundations, then you build the roof, and then you came back, and then you put the floor, you put the topping, whatever, right? There's a book, remember? بدائع الزهور في وقائع الدهور. بدائع الزهور في وقائع الدهور. The, all these details are there. But you know what? Most of the, like, you got the main usul, but most of the details I'm assuming my own thing I'm telling you now is probably from Israeli riwayat. So they fill all the gaps. Like here you got the main things, like about wal arda ba'da zalika dahaha and was sama'a banaynaha and all that stuff. But all the gaps is filled in most of the time with what? With Israeli riwayat. So this ash'athul lam'at. What is that there? That kitab blue one. Ash'athul Lam'at also. They say there also there's a lot of detail with regards to the creation, right? So there is consensus amongst all ulama that the word is hadith. When you say the word is hadith, what it means, it is something that was created. It's not like like how Allah Ta'ala was there forever. Allah Ta'ala was there. There's no point where you say Allah Ta'ala wasn't there and Allah Ta'ala came into existence. But you know, we live in the dunya, né? And we in the dunya, everything there was a point wasn't there and came into creation. So our mind is programmed like this that there must be a beginning point for everything. Because around us everything is a beginning point. So also when we think about Allah Ta'ala, we think, how can something be forever? There was no point of creation. But that is the law in the dunya. In the dunya, things are there's a point where it has been created. So we must think out of the box. Another example was we must think out of the dunya. What we must do? We must think out. Don't think in the dunyawi terms. That in the dunya everything it has a point of creation, etc. So all our ulama say that the dunya is created. So Allah Ta'ala created dunya, then He created the lawh, then He created the qalam, then He created the zameen, the earth, then He created the skies, then He erected, what's it, وَجَعَلْنَا الْجِبَالَ أَوْتَادًا, then He created the arsh, then He created the kursi, then He created the farishta, then He created jinn, then He created ins. And then a time will come when all of this will perish. كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. Only Allah Ta'ala will remain. ألا كل شيء ما خلا الله باطل وكل نعيم لا محالة زائل. Right? No. كل شيء, everything besides Allah, ما خلا باطل. It is insignificant compared to Allah Ta'ala. وكل نعيم لا محالة زائل. Every bounty, boon, blessing, flavor. Right. Okay, we're going to start the actual hadith now, inshallah. Right. Okay, read the first hadith, inshallah. Okay, stop there. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Faslul Awwal, the first fasl. عن إمران بن حسين narrated authority قال إني كنت عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Imran ibn Hussein said, once I was in the presence of Rasulullah, this Mubarak company, right? إذ جاء قوم من بني تميم, when the people from Bani Tamim came. فقال اقبلوا البشرى يا بني تميم أو بني تميم, accept from us the glad tidings. Those you accepted Islam, etc. The glad tidings, you've come to the truth, yeah. قالوا بشرتنا. Okay, you've given glad tidings, but فأعطنا, give us something now. You know, like you say, congratulations, Mubarak to you. Thank you for that, but where's my present? I want my present now, right? Hey, you done well in exams, Mubarak. Yeah, Jazakallah. I've done well, but now give me my reward. Give me أعطني الجائزة, right? فأعطنا. Right then, فدخل ناس من أهل اليمن. When people from Yemen came, فقالوا فقال اقبلوه البشرى. Okay, now you accept the glad tidings. يا أهل اليمن, people of Yemen. إذ لم يقبلها بنو تميم. Banu Tamim, they didn't accept it. They wanted something. قالوا قبلنا. Yes, we accept it. جئناك. We've come to you. لنتفقه في الدين. So that we may gain the understanding in deen. Right? We want to come to you to, right? ولنسألك عن أول هذا الأمر. And we also want to ask you what is right with regards to the beginning of this matter. That was about creation, etc. Makana, what was there before, right? Qala kana Allah. Allah Ta'ala existed. I told you, I remember. I said, yeah, this one, kana Allah wa laysa ma'ahu shay'un. You see, kana Allah wa lam yakun shay'un qablahu. Allah Ta'ala existed and there was nothing before him. Wa kana arshuhu ala al-ma'. There we told you, his water was on the arsh. And I told you, that also his arsh was on the water. His arsh was on the water. And I told you, that doesn't refer to, right? وَكَانَ عَرْشُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ. And his arsh was on the water. We discussed that. Remember, we said after created the pearl, the water, right? ثُمَّ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Then he created the skies and the earth. وَكَتَبَ فِي الذِّكْرِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. Then he, the pen, wrote everything, right? ثُمَّ أَتَانِي رَجُلٌ. Then another person came to the Sahabi saying, listen nicely what's happening. The Sahabi saying, now a person came to me, right? فَقَالَ يَا إِمْرَانِ أَدْرِكْ نَاقَةَ. Hey, go get your camel. قد ذهبت, it left, ran away. فانطلقت أطلبه. I went to look because my camel maybe broke loose, whatever. فانطلقت أطلبها. وأيم الله لوددت أن قد ذهبت ولم أقم. And لوددت أن, and he said now at second thought I wish rather would have, I rather lost my camel and I never stand up because now I missed out on this important information. You understood that? Ismail, you understood it? وأيم الله as a custom. لوددت أن قد, I wish it went ولم أقم because I wanted to hear more what Nabi Sallallahu said and I didn't hear. So this was the desire of this particular Sahabi for knowledge. So he's regretting his decision for going after his camel. What is he doing? Ismail, he's regretting his decision. Right? رواه البخاري, Imam Bukhari narrates this. بشرتنا فأعطنا. So I told you, Nabi Sallallahu said, we give you glad tidings, now come. تفقه في الدين. Learn deen. Now get, extra, improve yourself. And as a result of that, obviously, when you get deen, you learn deen, you will enjoy the bounties of Jannat. So accept the glad tidings of knowledge. But I told you, right? Unfortunately, their focus was completely on the dunya. Their focus, like the one guy said, if I come to Madrasa, I'm going to get ilm. I'm not going to get anything else. One guy said, if I come to Madrasa, I'm not going to get anything besides ilm. I need something more than ilm. What he said? I need something more than ilm. But through the barakat of ilm, Allah Ta'ala will open up other things. Through the barakat of ilm, Allah Ta'ala will open up other things, right? So here he's saying perhaps when they heard the word of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they thought, yeah, accept the glad tidings of the dunya, whilst Nabi Sallallahu was speaking about the glad tidings of the akhirat. He was speaking about the right. You understood that? And then the people of Yemen accepted it. Now we'll do inshallah as we go through the sabbath. There's a lot of virtue for the people of Yemen. It's actually coming here. Al-hikmatu yamaniyatun. Right? Wisdom is from the people of Yemen. That will do, it will come. Then they asked with regards to the beginning of creation. So here in technical terms, we say Allah Ta'ala's azalul hamza zala azalul azail abadul abaid. The creator. Nothing existed besides Allah Ta'ala, right? This, okay, all that other, everything else in the hadith we discussed in the beginning. وَكَتَبَ فِي ذِكْرِ. Yeah, he says here, dhikr means the lawh mahfuz. And kataba means athbata. So remember we done this, Ismail, in the beginning of Mishkaat. Even long before Allah Ta'ala created everybody, what was going to happen in the world already was recorded. Doesn't mean that you don't have choice. You still have a choice. You have, remember we done this, you have kasb. Remember? Ikhtiyarul kasb. You are not the khaliq of your af'al. You don't create your af'al. This is all. We'll do it again, inshallah, with Uthman. So Ayyamullah actually for Uqsimu Billah means Uqsimu Billah. Okay, read the next riwayat, inshallah.
عن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما أنه قال قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مقاما فأخبرنا عن بيت قلب حتى دخل الحمدية منازلهم منازلهم حفظ ذلك من حفظه ونسيه
Interesting riwayat here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن عمر, listen, this is nice. Narrating of Umar, قال قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, stood and addressed us, right? مقام الإسلام. فأخبرنا عن بدء الخلق. He informed us with regards to the beginning of creation. That's, you know, at the beginning of creation, كان الله ولم يكن معه شيء وكان الله وليس معه شيء. The vision started from there, and he mentioned everything. And where he stopped, حتى دخل أهل الجنة منازلهم وأهل النار منازلهم. And he stopped by this until what we done, you know, when the people will enter Jannah. So from the beginning of creation, he discussed until where? Until people will enter Jannah. Right? Right. So he's saying, then he says, حفظ ذلك من حفظ ونسي ومن نسيه رواه. Those who are able to memorize, they memorize it, they know it, they can tell you, they can give you all the details. And those who forgot it, they forgot it, they can't give you the details. But maybe some detail, like I told you, like maybe like somewhere like we do a lesson in class. I said, look here, we done this thing before. If you remember it, good luck to you. But if you forgot it, you never write it down, you forgot it, tough luck for you. Same thing. Those who memorize it, they memorize it, they know it, they can give it to you. Those who forgot it, too bad, they forgot it, right? Carry on, read the next riwayat. Yeah, we were just discussing this. I was telling you yesterday or the day before. What is written in Arshal? Remember that. وعن أبي هريرة نرينا خلف أبو هريرة سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. إن الله تعالى دليل الله تعالى كتب كتابا. Right? إن الله تعالى كتب كتابا. Allah تعالى wrote a book قبل أن يخلق الخلق, before he created the creation. And what he wrote, إن رحمتي سبقت غضبي. Verily, my mercy has overtaken, has preceded my anger. We'll discuss these two explanations. فهو مكتوب عنده فوق العرش. It is written by Allah Ta'ala فوق العرش, above his arsh. متفق عليه, متفق على رواية. So see here, سبقت, normally سبق means to go ahead, to beat something. You say, سبقته فسبقته, I raised him, فسبقته, but I beat him. I raised him, but I سابقته فسبقته. Just go outside there, see there. Right, that's what I mean. One expression is like, I tell you, like I told you, sabaqtu means I beat him, I was before him. Right? So one explanation is this, that Allah Ta'ala created the mercy before he created the anger. Right? Allah Ta'ala's mercy was there first. Then only after. So in other words, like you can say there was nothing before he created the creation, right? Once he started creating the creation, the jinn, the man, then they started doing nonsense, right? Then Allah Ta'ala started getting angry. The other one is this here. There's a one that is referring to the chronological details with regards to creation, right? The other explanation is this here, that my mercy has overpowered. You can say sabaka means ghalaba. My mercy has overpowered my anger. That's my mercy is more, right? My mercy is more than my angry. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll do one more hadith, inshallah, before we switch over. The next one is fine.
رضي الله تعالى عنه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال خلقت الملائكة في نور، خلق الجان في نار، خلق آدم
Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Interesting hadith. وعن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها عائشة الصديقة عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خلقت الملائكة من نور. The angels have been created from light, right? وخلق الجان من مارج من النار. And the jinn have been created from a flame, from the fire. وخلق آدم مما وصف لكم. And Adam alayhi salam has been created from that which has been explained for you. Rawah Muslim, Imam Muslim narrates. Remember this, we done this, Ismail. If you remember, Allah Ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam from sand. He took a bit of the different sands from the entire world: hard sand, soft sand, brown sand, black sand, red sand, and that manifests itself in the different dispositions, different complexions, the different attitudes, the different characteristics of Insan. It was all in the DNA of Allah Ta'ala, and it manifests itself. That's why the hadith say some people are soft, some people are hard, some people are tough, some people are angry, some people are right. Remember, Ismail? So that's what we mean. وَخُلِقَ آدَمْ مِمَّا وُصِفَ لَكُمْ. Adam alayhi salam has been created from that which has been explained to you, right? Some fat, some thin, some big, some small, some short, all according to the sand. So the difference you see in what's it? يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. That is all the manifestation of what? That's the manifestation of the different sands which Allah Ta'ala used to bring His Son. Anyway, min nurin, they have been created from nur. Now you mustn't understand. Remember the mushrikeen and all this before. They used to say the malaikas are the daughters of Allah Ta'ala. So yeah, the author is saying don't think, because when you say that the malaika are created from nur, it means they are from the nur of Allah Ta'ala and they are the daughters of Allah Ta'ala. They said alakumul banat wa lahumul banun. Are you saying Allah Ta'ala got, because in previous time to have a daughter was more like a R. وإذا بشر أحد بالأنثى ظل وجهه مسودا وكريم يتوارى من القوم من شيء ما بشر به. When he is informed that he's got a daughter, then يتوارى أيمسك على هون أم يدسه في التراب. Must he keep this disgrace, or must he bury it in the sand? So you yourself, you consider daughters to be a disgrace, but you want to say that Allah Ta'ala has angels which are daughters, right? So this doesn't mean, when we say the angels are created from Nur, it doesn't mean that they are the daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And they are created from the same which Allah Ta'ala has created. Al Jannu, Jan comes from Jinn. And we remember Jannah ya Jinnu means something which is hidden and concealed. That's why we tell you Jannat also is concealed from the people of the earth. Remember, we discussed that. So Jinn also from that Jannah ya Jinnu is concealed. So خلقه من, nice hadith we done with what? كلكم لبني آدم وآدم من تراب. When we done, isn't we done? No, no, okay, done the other voice. أنتم لآدم وآدم كلكم لآدم وآدم من تراب. Nice hadith, that was right. So خلق, you know the hadith? Yeah, it's in العربية بين يديك. I'm doing it in voice, yeah. So خلقه من تراب.
Okay, sunod, hanapin, ina nasta'inu ka, nakikiyo ka, paglutulobi ka, alwalay ka, niray ka, kayo, turo ka, turo ka, hanap ka, umanaturo.
Here also the author says this is a strong proof against
Yeah,
those people who say that Nabi Sallallahu was created from light. Remember, we said Nabi Sallallahu is biologically a human being. If you cut him open, you find blood veins like the rest of the human being. But yes, he's got a special position, a different position. But biologically, he's a human being. So this is quite clear to say that Nabi Sallallahu, I'm a human being like you. But the only difference is yuha ilayya. I get wahi. I've been guided, right? And so I'm saying. So this is, there's a ikhtilaf. People don't know about the Barelwis. They say that Nabi Sallallahu was not a human being. He's a different creation. He's made from light. But we say he is a human being like us. He's meat, blood, etc. But just he has been divinely protected from sin. Ma'asum we done. And he has been guided, right? So we stop there. We switch over to the tafsir. Tafsir with the Arabic or what?